Hola y bienvenidos to another episode of the Ebony Ladies in the DR. We have an exciting topic today, one that's near and dear to our hearts. But before we get started, please meet my co-hosts.
Hey, I'm Shan.
I'm Tammy.
Bridget.
And of course, I'm Sheila from Silver Spring. And we're going to start off today's topic, which I said was near and dear to our heart, our family. And those that we miss so much.
Yeah.
Back in the United States. So
she's gonna cry. I can guarantee this episode.
Well,
get through it.
My first question for anybody who wants to jump in is something that we touched on in one of the previous episodes about the family support that we had or didn't have when we decided to move here to the Dominican Republic.
Okay. I think I'll start off. So I think I told everybody that just from me and Davelin's personalities and who we are and how we've lived our life as a couple, nobody was surprised. Nobody was surprised. And our immediate family, who I miss and who I spend time with, is my mom, my dad, my sister. That's my immediate family. And I have a brother. He lives in Oklahoma. I miss him. I just saw him recently. But they were like so happy, so supportive. And what you have to know is my dad is 70. Whenever I would call my dad, this was like in the process. He was asking me like the toughest questions about the Dominican Republic. He was like, he's 70 and my dad doesn't have Wi-Fi. He doesn't have internet at the house. But he was like, so what's the population there? So how does everybody get around there? And so are you afraid? And what's the crime rate there? So he was asking the tough questions.
Good daddy.
That was a good, that's a good daddy. So I was like, I felt so much support. And my mom and my sister, they were like all in. They were like, send us the pictures of the houses you're looking at, and then what's in your neighborhood, what's in your area. And they were just like so supportive. It just was like, okay, we're doing the right thing. So whenever you have that support, it just makes it that much better. Even if it's just you and your husband or just you by yourself, as long as you're happy with your decision, still go for it. We're just saying that having that family support makes it that much better. For me, definitely.
Yeah. I'll share, kind of like you, my people weren't necessarily shocked or surprised that I wanted to up and move to a foreign country. But I will say that once the move transpired, I did receive, or I have noticed, in particular, a friend of mine that took it a little difficult, but also my mom. We had a little bit of a point we met where we had to kind of, we drifted apart a little bit. I hate to say that because my mom's my best friend, but it kind of took us apart. I think she felt like she lost her baby, her best friend. It was definitely a point of contention between us.
I didn't get that just because they weren't so supportive the whole time. But
that's how
I was expecting it.
Yeah, that's how my sister was. She was supportive. Of course, she was like, "Well, what's the hurry?" When I made my snap decision, and just like I was done with it. But that had to do with work, and I was just fed up and multiple other things. But my sister told me from the very beginning, when I told her that probably in about 3 or 4 years that I was going to move to the Dominican Republic, she said, "I will support you however you need me to, emotionally, financially, whatever you need me to do. If you need me to come down there with you." Well, she's been down here 2 or 3 times already. And she's the one that's talking about, "Oh, I'm not going to vacation at the beach anymore because been there, done that." But she come down. She let me know she's coming down quarterly.
Oh yeah.
She has a drawer in my guest room. Well, she calls it her room. And then she asked me about but you know about that too, Bridget, right?
Yeah.
Because her mother and her sister say that her guest room is their room.
And you better believe Mom has a room in the house too.
Their room.
So she has a room in the house as well.
My sister has to have clothes, bathing suits.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds.
Mine does,
She
too.
did everything.
My sister got hair products upstairs.
Listen though, so I got a 2-bedroom because I was hoping people would come to visit me. Ain't not near one of them.
That's the other thing.
To
Yeah,
visit.
that's
You
the
know, so I'm
other
like, why
thing.
pay all this money to have this extra room
It
for
takes
people
some
to come?
time though.
They're
They will
coming.
come,
Yeah.
but
They're
it takes
coming.
time because the same thing happened to me. Everybody promised you they
Yeah,
coming
I'm
next
coming.
week.
I'm coming.
Right.
You don't see. I didn't see some people for 2 years of me being here.
yeah.
Well, look, so we moved here, in January? My mom and my sister were here in March for 2.5 weeks. And then my dad has been here once in June for our 25-year anniversary. So missing
And your mother and
family.
your sister came
And
back.
my mother and sister came
Right.
back, so they've been here twice in 10 months. So I haven't really had the opportunity to miss my family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I think I missed the idea of being able to say, well, let's go home this weekend. Because from Houston to Memphis, we always drive because we have our dog. So and we got used to it. It's an 8-hour drive. So I missed the idea of being able to just look at the calendar and say, well, let's leave Friday night. Let's leave Saturday morning and drive and go. So I miss that part. But as far as missing them, I haven't seen them in so long. I haven't gotten to do that yet because my family's close. We see each other all the time.
And don't you all talk?
And we talk
regularly?
on a regular basis. I talk to my mom and my sister almost every day. Me and my dad, we talk every Sunday. You know, because he doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I can't use WhatsApp. You know, I got to use my data. So, but we talk once a week, like clockwork. You know.
I talk to my sister just about every night. If we don't talk every night, and then sometimes she'll call me if she's stuck in traffic, going around that beltway in that DC traffic. She'll call me in the morning, and I'll talk to her until she gets to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister is who I miss the very most.
Yeah.
And then her son, my nephew.
Okay. See, y'all? And y'all thought she was tough. This our crybaby of the group.
I am tough.
It's all a lie.
She
tough.
But
Go ahead.
my nephew, her son, lives in New York with his girlfriend. His name is Blake. Hey, Blake.
What's up, Blake?
And we purchased our home together when he turned 2. And I could go on. Let me tell you something. I could talk to y'all but I'm not for 2 hours about some funny stories with him. But I'll tell you just one. When he realized we were teaching him names for emergency purposes, and he couldn't figure out why my last name was McNeil and their last name was Buras. So we explained it to him. Then he saw some wedding pictures, and he said, "Mama, you had a wedding? You got married?" And she was like, "Yeah, to your father." And so then he said, he's looking at all the pictures. He's like, "Well, where am I? How come I'm not at the wedding?"
Tell him that's modern day.
That's what he wasn't at the wedding because he wasn't born yet. He wasn't even a twinkle in her eye 7 years later.
That's modern.
But Tammy, what have
Just in the
your
3 months.
experience been with family? And I know you said that nobody's been to visit you yet, but it's only been 3 months. And people probably want to give you time to get settled in and all that good stuff too. But what's your experience been?
Well, so for me, number one, I went away to college to a different state. And then right after college, I moved across the country to California.
Okay.
So I lived most of my adult life in California with my family in South Carolina. So for me, being away is not necessarily something new.
Right.
So it doesn't feel that different for me. I think what I do, and not to say that I don't miss my family. I do. I miss them dearly. We do talk WhatsApp. Thank God for WhatsApp. We talk very regularly on WhatsApp. Talk to my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brother. But I will say for me, more of the sort of missing for me is friends, honestly. Like I miss my friends. Like I had a group of friends that I went out to happy hour with every week or every 2 weeks. And you get into that routine, you start to see the same people at work every day. You have the people that you hang out with, that you confide in, that everything. And then you come over and it's starting over, and you're literally having to create new friendships and new relationships. And for me, I think that those are the days, like when I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm like, oh, I miss the US. Generally it's because I'm missing my friends, my friendships, and my best friend, Tasha. I know, like, so moving here, she was like a huge support for me, like every step of the way, because I was freaking out, and she was steady. She was like, okay, so you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this.
And then one
you moving to the DR? And I was like, she's fine with it. And so then I said, I've never actually asked her. Right. And so I called her and I said, Taj, just asking. So how are you feeling about me moving? And she was like, I'm heartbroken. And I had no idea
because a good support system.
Yeah, and she said she's like it's not my place right now to tell you that I'm sad about you leaving. My place right now is to support you. That's just the kind of friend she is, and that's why she's my best friend. And so that for me was just like I had no idea like how it was going to affect other people. You know, that people would be like, well, no, I'm heartbroken that you're leaving.
Yeah, I think we're going through so much as we're transitioning to another country that we're not necessarily able to fully consider how other people might be feeling and are affected by this. So it makes sense why we don't even think to ask, well, how does that feel for you?
For you, I'm gonna pick up and leave and move to a different country.
Because we're all thinking about the big move we're making. It's like all about us, and not to be selfish or anything, but it is at that time. We're thinking just about how we're doing and how we're gonna adjust, so we don't take that minute. But now, just like recently, because me and my sister, as we've gotten older, is like my best friend. I was like, I run everything by her. We talk about everything. And I remember, because we had a big going away party. My sister, she made cards that said adios. We had a photo booth area. We was taking pictures, just all kinds of stuff. And I remember like a couple of days before we were getting ready to leave, and she was so sad. Her mood had changed, and and I asked her what was wrong, and she like started crying and said, I just don't want y'all to leave. And even though it had been a year in the works, we were getting ready to go, and it was just like, but we're gonna still see each other all the time. It's really the same amount of time that we would see them that if we were in Houston. We would go home like twice a year. But I guess
there's
something
about it.
You feel like you're farther away.
Even with that distance,
it's another country. It just seems like,
even though it's 3 hours from Atlanta, like it's
it's a short trip.
It's a short trip.
But
it just seems another world.
I always, I'm sitting here boohooing because when you were talking about your sister, all the stuff that she was doing and everything, every time when I talk to my sister, when we get ready to get off the phone and we say goodbye, she always says bye, and it sounds like she's just so sad.
Oh man, she is though, and I get it.
But I don't want her to be sad. I want her. I mean, I know she's happy for me being here too, but I feel like I feel like I abandoned her because
I'm sure she don't think
we were little, it's always been the two of us.
How close are you in age?
I'm almost 3 years older than she is.
So you're very close.
I mean, it's always been the two of us. And although I have to mention, I do have two other siblings from my father's relationship my father had after my mother. They live in Baltimore. Walter and Kathy and Tanya and mi cuñado up there, Kathy. Don't be mad at me because right now I'm all messed up, so I can't think of everybody's name. But they live in Baltimore, and they're both doing great things. They've been married for 50 million years to their spouses.
So good.
And so everything is.
Now, is there any big family ritual that anybody left behind? Or created new ones? Like me and my dad created ours where we talk every Sunday. We talk once a week. But my family, since we did live in separate places, we didn't have like everybody get together on Sunday for dinner. So was there anything like that y'all left behind, or create new things?
I will say what me and my best friend did, because when I got here, I came all in. I was all in. I had actually a pool of friends that I had befriended before moving here. So I had gotten a few friends, and then the guy that I was seeing at the time, I got really, really close to his family, and so I spent a lot of time there. And so I will say, I can admit this, like my best friend felt me kind of detaching. From her, my very best friend. Hey Shay, and she knows how much I love her. But what we decided to do, she had to call me out. She was like, "Wait a minute, Shani, you're in a foreign country. Well, sometimes you don't speak to me during the day." She said, "Okay, I need to hear from you every day, because that's how we used to be at home, every day. So if we don't do anything else, we do this thing every single morning. GM, good morning. We send a text message. Good morning.
That's your check-in.
Just every single day we do that.
You're alive. I love it.
Yes.
See, now I feel
That
bad.
says a lot.
I feel bad because I feel like so I miss my best friend a lot. And so I feel like I'd be guilt tripping her. I'm like, when are you coming
Of
to
course.
visit?
So
You
let's
have
go.
How much is a plane ticket from Atlanta?
Yeah,
Because
you
I might need
right.
to fly you out here because I miss you so much.
Listen, right now tickets from Atlanta are like $200.
So tell her to drive up to Atlanta.
Yes.
From Atlanta.
Tasha, listen, Tasha,
Come
go see your
on,
friend.
Tasha.
Yeah, I miss her so much, and I'm just like sometimes, some days I'm just like, oh my. So, but we talk all the time too. We talk all the time. So yeah. So
And you don't want to miss this. I mean, this is it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss
You got to
this.
take advantage of the opportunity when you can, because there's nothing like going on vacation somewhere, regardless of whether it's the Caribbean island or London or wherever you want to go, and you know somebody that lives there, somebody that has been here and can take you around to the different places.
So I've been here 4 years, ladies. Y'all know I'm kind of like the little OG here, the young OG. But I have now that I've been here for 4 years and I've formed family and relationships here. Since we're talking about missing family, it's funny. Like the reverse kind of happens now. So now I'll take trips back home to the States, and I'll miss my people here. So I'll miss you guys. I miss you guys. I'll miss my Dominican family. Oh my God, I miss them so much sometimes because that's like I have like a Dominican mother here. And, hola suegra. And she is just she treats me like one of her own. So it's literally like being away from my family. And when I was just home, you guys, I missed y'all. I missed that energy that we had.
We were talking and texting and chatting in the group.
So the opposite the reverse happens to me now.
Starts to happen.
Yeah, after year 1, year 2, that's when I was missing my family from the States. Now it's like the reverse. I found that has happened. When I go home, I'm like missing coming back and being back here.
I understand.
This is home.
Because I went home just a month ago. And so I was in Memphis for 2 weeks, and I was homesick for here. Like, I've been living here for 10 months. This is home. And, so my mom was like, "You ready to go?" I was like, "I miss Davlin. I miss Bella. I miss that's my new home. That's my country." I said, "Y'all got me here." Okay, so I'll tell you about my mom's house in Memphis. It was hot. They have the AC. My sister is, like, hot-blooded. And so the AC was on, like, 70 degrees. So y'all know I'm freezing because we don't use the AC around the clock here. And then my sister has a truck. Everywhere you go is in a car. So I'm like, I called Davlin, I called my husband. I was like, they got me down here spoiled. I'm out here in this cold AC. And I'm riding around everywhere. I don't have my bike. It's, I got to get back home. And I was just eating and not working out. And I really realized that I missed here. I missed being, and I've only been here 10 months. And my mom didn't understand it. So I finally had to say, well, I have lived with my husband 25 years, and I lived with my mom and daddy for 18 years.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I had to pull that trump card on it. I had to be like, I lived with my husband longer than I lived with y'all, so I do miss him and Bella. But it was a huge difference. It was a huge difference. So what advice, would y'all give people who are planning the same move to move to another country, and they have close friends, close family? What can they start doing ahead of time with their family to create the memories, or to create just new routines or new rituals or something to keep that bond? What would you suggest?
I think the first thing, just like you said with you and your dad, you all talk every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
And do something like that if you don't talk every day, because that's what I do. My best friend and I, we don't talk a whole lot, but when we do, we talk a lot.
We talk hours.
By the way, hey Delisa.
Hey Delisa.
But actually, we don't have any new rituals. We've kind of cut some things out, but we'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
But I would say just if you're going to move down here, do have a way or set up a time frame that you check in with your family members and friends who are back home, because they don't know what's going on with you. And like with Bridget Davlin and I, and Shanna too, we've all exchanged each other's information. So if anything happens, I can call her mother, I can call her dad, I can call her sister, and the same thing with me. I have done. I've met their parents.
They didn't include me.
No, because we don't know you yet. You're new. You just got here.
You
got here.
Right. Only because
I talk to your mom.
Not because we don't love her any less.
Yeah. So
right.
But that's right. But that's what I would say. Just make sure that you have somebody you trust here as an emergency contact, and check in with your family members as often as they need you to. I'm not saying as often as you want to, as often as they need you to. Right, because you are in a foreign country where you don't speak the language, because Spanish is not my first language, although I'm getting better at it. But that's what you have to do.
Yeah, and so I think that's a good thing. And that's where that advice is, whether you're moving here to Dominican Republic or moving to any country, really any state. If you're going to somewhere that's new to you or new to your family, you don't have family there, you still want to do the same thing. You want to create those memories, you want to be in touch. But I think my main thing for everybody is to love your family. And try to do as many things as possible together. Life is short, and just be like there with them in the moment and share things. That's the best thing.
I was going to say too, bring them into the process early. So it doesn't feel like you just dropped a hammer, because realizing just because just like you're going through your transition of trying to plan it out and getting your mind right, they got to get their mind right as well. So bringing them into the process, like I wanted to bring my mom with me. She didn't have a passport though, because I told my mom, I said, well, if you're that worried, you can come with me for like the first week, stay with me, see where I am, all of that kind of stuff. But we just couldn't work it out. But I think if you can bring people into the process with you, help them to see what you're doing, like so that they understand. Also too, but let people know that, hey, listen, yes, I've thought about the bad things that can happen. Or, let them know what your worries are sometimes too. Because a lot of times people think, well, you're just flying by night, like you're just flying by the seat of your pants. You haven't thought. But when you say, I'm worried about if I'm going to be able to adjust, if I'm going to be able to make friends, how am I going to communicate? Then you're in the process with them. They'll start helping you think of suggestions versus being like, see, she doesn't need to go.
I was going to say, set their expectation. Like if you are, if you can give them kind of your game plan. Absolutely. If you know you want to be there for 6 months, let them know I plan on being there for 6 months. This is where I plan on staying. I have this friends. I've been talking in this group. I've really found that there's a huge expat community here that I feel like they will embrace me and make sure I'm good. I found a church that I want to visit. I found, anything that you can do to kind of make them feel more comfortable, that you've done some research. But set expectations. People like expectations, and people like to know. So.
And we understand not everybody wants to come to the beach. I'm not sure why, but everybody doesn't want to do. I
didn't want to come to the beach.
I don't understand that at all. I can live here on the beach. You can put my bed right over there. They can deliver me some food, and I'm a happy camper. I'm all about the dirt, the sand, the water. I love it. But you know what I'm saying? But just for people who don't want to come here and their family, make sure that your family knows that you're going to be traveling back and forth, that you're going to see them. Don't think because you're the one that moved out of the country, everybody has to come see you. Or everybody wants to come to paradise.
I never thought about it that way.
And actually, I do that. I go home about every 3 months. At the beginning, I was going home like every 2 to 3 months. And now it's a little bit more sparse in between, but I definitely make sure they see my face. I check in.
And then our parents are older now, so we got to go to them. My mom and dad. My dad's like, I can do that flight. I think that Atlanta airport broke my daddy down.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
Yeah, he had to make that connection. It was a nonstop flight
out
from
Hartsfield.
Memphis. He would be here probably all the time because my dad actually loved it. you know, and he's 70. We had him on a bicycle riding around the golf course. It was amazing. And my mom, she's always ready to come.
Yeah.
So, but they're older, and it's the connecting flights that wear them out. So I have, you know, me and Devlin, we have to be just like really mindful to plan it to go home, so that I don't want them to ever be like saying that they really miss me. My mom would be like, "Oh, I miss you," just because, you know, I miss you. But that is just the natural. But if I don't ever want her to be like, "I really miss you. When are you coming home?" You know, you don't ever want it to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, so keep in contact. You know, create some new rituals, new family members, new memories, new things.
Yeah.
And just enjoy. But you know, this is paradise, y'all. I ain't kidding. This beach is like amazing, and we would all love to have you all here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to bring this episode to a close. But remember, please subscribe to us, Ebony Ladies in the DR, on YouTube. You can find us every Tuesday and Thursday right there on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes the only person standing in your way is you. Step around you to achieve your goals. If that's what you need to do, don't worry about